Aplia content can be easily integrated into your Blackboard course. This provides for a seamless user experience for both instructors and students. With this integration, there's no need to create a separate account or remember an extra username or password to access the Aplia modules. The Aplia modules can also sit right alongside the other content that you have included within your Blackboard course. For instance, here's a content area created called Aplia modules. And the links for the relevant Aplia modules have been added into this content area. This allows for students to access the modules as they need. Students can work through these modules on their own, or instructors can direct students to particular modules that may be of interest. To access, all the student needs to do is click on the link for the relevant module. The activity will then open in a separate window. The student can work through the assignment simply by clicking on the question. The Aplia exercises are designed to be engaging and provide students with practical examples. For instance, right now we're looking at the comma activity. Within the first question, for commas for items in a series, the student is given some additional instruction on the topic. Then the student is given an example of a recipe. The students will then reference the recipe in order to answer the question. Here, the students would indicate the sentences that are using commas correctly. In the second part of the question, the student is reviewing an excerpt from a news article and then answering questions based off of the article. After finishing the question, the student will click on Grade It Now. Here, the student will be able to see right away which questions were answered correctly and incorrectly. And for each part of the question, the student can open up relevant feedback. This feedback is detailed and specific to the student's question. If the student would like to try the question again, he or she can do so by clicking Try Another Version. This will give the student a different version of the question, but still test the student on the same topic. Each student will also have a different version of the question. Again, after responding to the question, students can click Grade It Now to see how they have done on the question. When they're ready to move on to the next question, students can click on Continue. Now I'm taken to my questions on commas with introductory phrases, transitional expressions, and parentheticals. Students can begin working on the activity and return to it later. After the student submits the activity, he or she is given additional practice activities for any topics where he or she may have scored below an 80%. To return back to Blackboard, the student simply needs to close the window, and they'll be taken back into their Blackboard modules. The scores for the Aplia modules can be set up to port directly into the Blackboard gradebook, or they can be maintained within Aplia for instructors to review at their discretion.